Hello everyone, I'm back to look at another Backlash, this time Backlash 2002. No real reason to this one, just felt like doing this one. Let's just get straight into it. First match was Tajiri with a terrified looking Tori Wilson versus Billy Kidman for the Cruiserweight Championship, which is a nice thing to look back on with the Cruiserweight division coming back and Tajiri coming back for their Cruiserweight Classic. Long story short, this is a pretty good match to be honest, I really enjoyed it. It really sold me on Tajiri, he was phenomenal, especially his striking. His super kicks were just really good. Kidman wasn't half bad either, he wasn't anything special. I haven't really seen many of his matches before, but I would watch another one of his matches. But one thing that was off-putting was Tori Wilson. She just looked so terrified every time. She looked like she was trying to cheer for Tajiri. Trying to cheer for Tajiri, that's really hard to say. Trying to cheer for Tajiri, okay, anyway. Just trying to cheer for him. But she just quite couldn't, she just looked terrified the entire time. I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, I like Tajiri's Red Mist, although I know a lot of people will disagree. It made it look pretty cool, it looked a lot like blood, even though it clearly wasn't. I don't like how it finished the match though, it was kind of stupid, because why would having liquid on your face affect you being able to keep a shoulder down? That's just, it was a good match, but pretty crap ending. The second match was Scott Hall with X-Pac against Bradshaw, aka JBL, with Farouk. This is a really slow match, nothing special. I don't really have a lot to say about it. Got DQ'd from a low blow, so Bradshaw won. Just kind of a match. Yeah. Then there was a backstage thing with Vince and Flair, because this was the first draft, which was just not that good, as you'll hear me rant about later in the main event. Nothing really happened in this backstage thing, just run of the mill. Then it was a women's match with Jazz versus Trish Stratus, which is hard to say. Stratus is great, she's always been great, but this match wasn't that good. Once again, I have nothing to say. This is going to be quite boring overall, because I don't have a lot to say about these matches, because half of them are really boring. Just there's 3 good matches. Anyway, there were some cool spots, but just don't, if you decide to watch this pay-per-view, don't watch this match, just skip it. Next was a good match, another good match, with Brock Lesnar versus Jeff Hardy. This is Brock Lesnar's first run, and this is his first rivalry, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Brock Lesnar came out with Heyman, Brother Nero came out with Lita. This is a good match. Jeff Hardy got all his stuff in, he didn't botch anything, that was cool. Brock Lesnar looked like a monster, which is good because it was his first run. Then the match just ended. Lesnar F5'd Hardy, then he just led there, the bell went, a bunch of refs came in, I don't know, no one held up the X, so I don't think it was a legit injury, but that was kind of weird. Then it was Edge versus Kurt Angle in a hair versus hair match. I was kind of excited for this because Edge and Angle are both great. I was expecting it to be a classic, but it was good, but it wasn't special. Like, I'd recommend you watch it, but I wouldn't get your hopes up for this being an amazing match. It went on quite long, which, I don't know, it just went on too long for me. This is a standard match, it was good in general, it was just a lot, it's just very plotting for the majority. I like the spot where Angle went to hit Edge with a chair, Edge moved out of the way, it bounced off the rope and hit him back in the head, because a lot of wrestlers would have made that look really, it wouldn't have looked very brutal, whereas how Kurt Angle did it, he hit it just the right amount so it made the right noise so it sounded brutal, even though it probably wasn't that brutal. So yeah, that was alright. Kurt won, which was surprising because it's a hair versus hair match and he doesn't have a lot of hair, so I assumed he wouldn't mind cutting his hair off. But yeah, Edge shaved his hair off because Kurt won. Next was Rob Van Dam versus Eddie Guerrero for the Intercontinental Championship. When I heard this was a match, I was really excited because Eddie Guerrero is my favourite wrestler of all time. Van Dam is definitely top 5. I didn't take a lot of notes for this match, so I can't say the specific things that happened, but this was just good. It's just a really good match. It's probably my top 20 favourite matches of all time. There's no Zayn versus Nakamura, but it's close. It got a bit slower towards the end, like towards the middle and end. It kind of slowed down a bit. It started really good, ended really good. There was kind of nice storytelling, even though the announcers didn't really call it, with the Eddie one with the 5-star frog leap splash, which is a move that RBD also uses, even though it's Eddie Guerrero's move, inverted commas. And a great match. I recommend you watch it because it's the best match of the show by far. Also, I forgot to mention this, it was Eddie Guerrero's return, so it's really good that he won. It's kind of a nice welcome back per se. Next was Stone Cold versus American Badass Undertaker with Ric Flair as a special referee for the #1 contendership, which is weird to see on a pay-per-view. You usually see #1 contenderships on Raw, but whatever. Now, when I saw this match on the tabs, I was really not looking forward to it because it was the same length as the first 3 matches with intervals and lead-ups. It was just so long, and that didn't benefit in any way because the match was just so boring. I know some people are going to disagree with me, but the match was so boring. The first 5 minutes had like 2 moves. If you watch this pay-per-view, don't watch the last 2 matches because neither of them are good at all. This was bad booking. It led to more bad booking with Flair turning heel, stuff like that. And it's disappointing because we know Steve Austin and Taker can put on good matches, just even with each other, because they've done that before, but this is not a good match. And now for an even worse match in Triple H. Against Hulk Hogan for the Universal Championship. They stole that from Raw. Once you get past the nostalgia factor of Hulk Hogan, you realize this is an even worse match than the last one. It's just really bad. It was so slow. Nothing happened. It was all rest holds. Like, I don't understand. I know people are gonna hate me for this, but I don't understand the appeal of Hulk Hogan. As someone who was born past the Hulkamania period, I don't understand, because I don't know, I'm sure I'm gonna get hate for this, but let me know if there's anything I can watch to make me like Hulk Hogan. But I just don't see anything. When Tajiri and Billy Kidman put on a better match than Stone Cold versus Austin and Triple H versus Hulk Hogan, you know there's some bad booking, or just bad booking. However, I would recommend this pay-per-view mostly for Eddie and RVD, and even Tajiri versus Billy Kidman wasn't bad. I would watch that as well. Thanks for listening, everyone. Let me know what you want me to do next in the comments. Subscribe if you want to. I'll see you next time. Oh, and by the way, I know I missed Billy and Chuck, but I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.